Welcome back to the New York Sports Exchange, episode number 113. And we're invisible once again. It,
Gotta
it's
do
uh,
what you do. You gotta do
it's
what you
yeah, it's a grind. We're trying out here, but
We'll figure it out eventually.
yes. So week 5 picks and predictions, wild card series recap, huge one. All of them a sweep.
I didn't expect that.
I did not expect that either. Do you know what I learned the other day or yesterday actually?
What?
Since the expanded playoff, the only wild card series to go to 3 was. Are
you asking
because
me,
I
or you
can't.
just?
No, I'm asking you. Do you know the
Oh,
answer?
the Mets went to 3, didn't they?
Yeah, the Mets and the Padres. I heard that like long sigh. Like I'm like Tim, I can't see you. I don't know. If
I was alongside because I was like, oh, he's chirping the Mets right now. I don't
Oh
know.
no, I wasn't. No, I was seriously asking
I know,
you.
I know. I'm just saying. I thought you were just chirping the Mets. That's on me.
Yeah, so we'll recap all the wild card series, preview the divisional series, which starts Saturday. Big weekend in college football as well. I don't think I mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Texas, Oklahoma, Alabama, A&M should be shaping up to be a yet another electric weekend in college football. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing from the NBA, nothing from the NHL hockey preview on Tuesday with Jake and Matt. Very excited for that. So let's dive right into it. First, I got to actually no. I'll talk about him when we get to the Giants. So Thursday night football tonight, the game of the year, Bears Commanders, Washington Chicago. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying it. Washington's favored by 6. Total set at 44. But before we get to that, let's just give a preview of the contest. Separated by 1 game. Tim and I went 2-3. I almost said we swept the board, but
No, I swept the board the week before, didn't I?
yeah, that's what I meant. So I am 6-6, while you are 7-6. Still right? Yeah, you look. No,
No, I would have to be 7-5, wouldn't I?
7-5. 7-5. Jesus Christ, I suck at math.
It's okay.
There's a reason. There's a reason why we have a spreadsheet for this. But anyway, um, okay. Thursday night football. Bears, Commanders. Are we leaning aside? Is it one of the 3? I'm not.
This isn't one of the 3. This isn't even a football game I really want to watch.
This
I
is why I
was
was hoping for a game 3 in any of the wild card series because I
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to watch some
much rather
baseball.
watch that than this shit show.
I don't know. I don't know how this game's gonna play out. I mean, if you really base it off the way Chicago played in the first half last week, and they play like that, they play like that the whole game, then I see no problem the Bears winning. But it's Chicago. They're what 0-14 in their last 14 games. I mean, I don't. Yeah,
They
it's
have
what, a year and a
not
half.
won a game since. It's almost a full year. They have not won a game since October 24th.
Yeah, I don't expect them to win this one. I don't know. They're the Bears. They've shown me nothing to prove that they're a good football team. And I'm not saying Washington is lights out, but they gave Philly a good game. I don't see them having too much trouble with the Chicago team. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think it's gonna be a fun football game to watch. I think it's gonna be sloppy. There's gonna be a ton of mistakes. It's gonna be poor football, and Washington's gonna come out on top.
If you're betting on this game, I'd stay away from any of the numbers and just take a prop because at this point it's
or just
so
ride a
disgusting.
team. I mean, it's just not a fun game. This isn't gonna be a fun game to watch.
It's gonna be disgusting. Next up, we go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Jacksonville in London for the 2nd straight week, taking on the Buffalo Bills. Bills favored by 5.5. Total set at 48.5. What do we got?
This is tough
because this is a tough one.
This is Jacksonville's home stadium. They play really, really well in London. They had a good week last week. The Houston game kind of throws me off a little bit. But after watching the Bills, I mean, this is a dominant football team. They're going to show out. I think, I don't know if they're going to cover that spread, but I think the Bills definitely come out on top here. Matt Milano's going to have a big game in the linebacker role. I'm big on him. I've liked what I watched. I think he controls that defense a lot like Luke Kuechly. So I'm going to see the Bills have no problem coming out on top here.
That's a big
I'm not
comparison.
I'm not saying he is Luke Kuechly, but they kind of play a similar way. You know, they control their defense. They're in the middle of the field. They get in the backfield, a lot of tackles, a lot of breakup balls. I think he's going to have a big game, and I think Buffalo comes out on top here.
Yeah, I think Buffalo wins this game too. Jacksonville may keep it close just because they're just so used to playing in London, and the Bills are on the road aren't really that great of a team, although they pummeled Washington in Landover. But I just think the Bills are the better football team here. Jacksonville's sort of riding on some lows, losing to the Texans. They come back and beat the Falcons, but the Falcons have Desmond Ridder at quarterback. I don't think there's any saving them there. The Bills are coming off that high, beating the Dolphins. They're leading in the AFC East. I think it just might be another day in the office for Josh Allen and company. Next up, speaking of the Dolphins, we go to Miami. Dolphins Giants. The total set at 47.5. Dolphins laying 10.5 at home. It's God.
They might cover over by themselves. I mean, Jesus.
They might. They truly might. I want to talk about Evan Neal real quick because what a piece of shit he is. I wanted to fucking punch a hole in my wall.
For people who don't know, break down the quote because it was a little ridiculous.
I'll break down the quote if I can find the quote, which I definitely can. It's just, I
mean, to give the gist of it, he was saying, I mean, he's talking about the fans booing him and how whatever, like how you think that he cares about someone whose job is flipping burgers and dogs. How you think that really affects how he feels about football. I don't know. Chirping a fan base for a team that's struggling, especially after a week like that, and for a guy who hasn't played great. I mean, he block. I've seen him block his own lineman before.
I think people that work at McDonald's could block better than Evan Neal.
Yeah,
people that are actually flipping burgers and hot dogs.
He's been a little. It's been a little bit of a tough spot for him. He hasn't been great. And for him to come out and say something like that, especially after just a blowout loss, something that 11 sacks. Your job's to protect the quarterback. You didn't do well. I know you're getting booed. It has to be frustrating, but it starts from within, and going after a fan base, calling them bandwagons, and they just want to see people win. Yeah, of course they want to see your team win. You made the playoffs last year. You had a lot of high expectations. You re-signed Daniel Jones. You bring back Saquon. You add some pieces on the defense. You're supposed to be a team that's fighting for a wild card spot, potentially number 2 in their division. We were talking about going into the season, and they're not playing like that. They're not playing like that.
That quote, but here it is. Why would a lion concern himself with the opinion of a sheep? The person that's commenting on my performance, what does he do? Flip hot dogs and hamburgers somewhere? What a fucking idiot. Ugh. And then he issued a classic Notes app apology. I am wrong for lashing out at the fans who are just as passionate and frustrated as I am. I let my frustrations in my play and desire to win get the best of me. I had no right to make light of anyone's job, and I deeply regret the things that I said. We are working day in and day out to grow as a team, and this was an unnecessary distraction. I apologize.
Listen,
I think that was I think that was a half-assed apology that was written by his PR team, but you know what?
It definitely was, and I think
I frankly don't care. Just do your fucking job.
That's what I was just about to say. Nobody's gonna care, Evan Neal, about no one's gonna boo you. No one cares about the statement. If you go out and you have a good week, all they're asking for is you to block. That's your job. I mean, you're a first-round pick. You're supposed to be out there doing a good job. He looks terrible. So
yeah,
I don't know. They're not going to win this week. I'm sorry. They're not winning this week. Miami's going to slaughter. And then for them, really, it's just, can we play better? I mean, they're in a Jet situation where it sort of feels like you're not even really looking for them to win this football game. It's, can they even just keep it competitive? That's all I'm asking for. It's a competitive football game.
We're playing for moral victory. It's sad, but we're playing for moral victories at this point.
Welcome to the club. It's not a fun club to be in, but that's just what it is.
This is what it is. This is what it's like being a Giant fan, though. Like, it's just... It's so. I remember the first. Do you remember the first McAdoo? I think I mentioned this on yesterday's episode.
Yeah, they made the
playoffs. And then they go get like Brandon Marshall, and they get all these nationally televised games, and then they were terrible, and then just kept on getting embarrassed on national television. That's what it feels like. I feel like this happens every year with the Giants. Like even the Joe Judge year, the second Joe Judge year, where everyone was like big on them because they almost won the division. that's 6 games somehow, and they go get Kenny Galladay, and they're like, okay, like they have a weapon. Galladay becomes non-existent. Judge gets fired. It was again one of the worst years in recent memory as a Giant fan, and the next year, no one was big on them, including myself. What do? Shock the world. And then this year, going into the season, everyone's big on them. They have all these nationally televised games, and they suck. It's a repeating process. So if history does repeat itself, we will have at least one nationally televised game and go 10-7, and then sneak into the wild card and do the same thing again.
Listen,
So
it's early. It's early. I know. It's, this is week 5. We're 4 weeks into an 18 week
I
year.
know. I see a lot. I see a lot of like a lot of teams. It's a trend. They start slow, and then once they start building up wins, but just the way they look is just so bad. How do you allow a sack? How do you score 3 points against a defense that allows some of the most points in football? Like, oh, 11 sacks, 11.
No, that's ridiculous. I mean, you ridiculous. It's just
And I know the Dolphins defense, isn't like I don't want to say like they have their flaws. They have their flaws. That's all I'll say about that. But they're gonna look like the '85 Bears, the Dolphins defense.
I mean, if
I'm
it's anything like
disturbed.
the Seahawks game, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Enough of the Giants. I think we all know the Dolphins are winning this game. Next up we go to Foxborough. New Orleans at New England. New Orleans is laying 1 point. 1 point. Total set at 39.5. Again, I hate this game, but
I'm
we
not a
gotta
fan of
talk
this
about
game.
it.
Listen, New England's dealing with injuries. I know you get J.C. Jackson back. I don't know if he's going to see his, all these snaps this week, or he's even
I
really
don't
going to
think he
play.
plays.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez isn't in, so I mean, expect Chris Olave to have a day. I think the Saints win this game. I I don't know by how much. I don't know what the score is going to be. I think it's going to be a gritty, close football game, something that looks like a 17-10 going into the fourth quarter. But
Yeah.
I do
I
think
mean,
New Orleans comes out on top. I think the injuries to New England and just the way they play.
yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm going to take New Orleans here.
Yeah, Matthew Judon, I believe, is out too. So,
Yeah, they're dealing with some
right?
stuff right now. Yeah, I think so. I think he's done for a while. So
Yeah,
you're
Matthew
you're
Judon's
dealing with some
out.
stuff
The
now.
only
So
reason why people bet on the Patriots is because of their defense, and now they're missing Christian Gonzalez and Matthew Judon. Let me check on that because I don't want to
yeah, I mean, you're
be.
down to 2 of your best guys. It's going to be tough to win. And I know the Saints team isn't loaded on offense. I know they're not a powerhouse, but Derek Carr can move the ball.
Oh yeah, he's out for a while. He's getting surgery on his
Yeah,
biceps. So
exactly.
yeah, no
And
Judon, no Gonzalez. Give me the Saints.
Kamara's second game back. Yeah, and give me the Saints.
Yes. All right. Rivalry game. I can't talk. Ravens at Steelers. Ravens are 4.5-point favorites. The very low total. Total set at 38. What do we have here? Because this is, I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Ravens Saints.
Ravens Steelers.
Steelers. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ring.
Oh, okay. What are we taking here?
I'm gonna take Ravens minus 4.5 at -110. I think
Okay.
based off both teams' performance last week, 30-6, Steelers lose. Ravens, hold they hold the Browns to 3 points or something like that.
They held him to Ravens. Well, yeah, with a backup rookie quarterback, but okay,
No,
I
I
get
know.
yeah.
I like the way they move the ball. The Ravens, I really do. I like the way this offense is playing. I know Lamar's passing yards aren't what people want them to be. I know they want him to throw the ball more, but if you have a guy who's rushing for, I don't know, 2 touchdowns and he's throwing for 160 yards for also 2 touchdowns, you're going to win football games. With the way Matt Canada has been controlling this offense and how brutal the Steelers really look, I mean, they didn't even get the ball. It seems like they didn't get the ball over, the 50-yard line last week. I don't think a Ravens gonna have a problem. I think there's a lot going on in Pittsburgh right now. I don't think the players are happy with Matt Canada. I mean, I saw something on Twitter. I could be fake. It seems like it's fake, but he made a burn or whatever. There's some things going on in Pittsburgh that I don't like, and I think Steelers fans are kind of sick of it too. I think this is a statement win for the Ravens to solidify them as that number 1 team. So give me them at -4.5.
Okay. Hang on, I'm just updating the.
Spreadsheet? I put it in.
Yes, I'm just putting my stuff in, but yeah, I don't really know about this game just solely because like the Steelers against the number, they're really good against the loss. I think that they're since I want to say like a couple years ago, maybe like 2021, maybe. I'm trying to find that stat. Yes, here it is. No. The Steelers have covered 4 straight games after a loss. So, and they're home, big rivalry game, crowd's going to be rocking. Um, I'm just not going to trust it because I know how terrible the Steelers' offense is. I could see the Ravens. I could see Lamar having a day, but at the same time, I could see the Steelers kind of winning this game with their defense. It's a stay away game for me. I'd like the Ravens to win, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers get it done.
No,
Not be
that's fine.
shocked at all. All right. All right. Next up, we go to Detroit. Carolina at Detroit. Detroit laying 10 at home. Total set at 44.5. What do we think?
Uh,
It did open at 8.5, I believe.
10 feels like a bit much.
Yeah.
I do think I do think Carolina takes another loss here and goes to 0-5. They can't move the ball
I think
well.
so too.
They
Yeah.
put up 7 points last week. It hasn't looked good offensively for them, and defensively, I mean, they've been okay. They held them at 14 points, but if you can't score the ball, it's troublesome. And Bryce Young's getting lit up out there, so yeah, I don't think Carolina comes out on top here. I think this is an easy win for Detroit, and they kind of move forward.
I know 10's too many points in the NFL, so again, this is probably going to be a stay away game for me. Yeah, 10's way too much.
It's just way too much. I don't think they win by a touchdown and a field goal. They could. I mean, I could see it happening. This is a high-powered Detroit offense. I like their weapons, but no, I don't think they win by 10. I do think they win, though.
Yeah. Next up. Oh, here we go. I'm ringing the bell. Texans Falcons. Give me the Texans money line.
I
love this Texans team. I've fallen in love. I'm a Stroud boy for life. I love DeMeco Ryans. I love what he's doing with this defense. And I truly don't think that you heard me say it before. I don't think that Desmond Ridder is a good quarterback. I feel like DeMeco Ryans is going to find a way to get all these rushes onto Desmond Ridder. The talent on offense, I just can't get enough of it. Give me the Texans. I believe right now the money line is at plus 108. Yes. Oh, I love this pick. This is probably one of my favorite bets of the year. Give me the Texans.
All right, I'm riding with you. I mean, I'm not betting them, but I would ride it with you. I have them winning too. I think this is a Texans team that builds off last week. I like the confidence CJ Stroud has early. I love the way he's been playing. This defensive front's been good. So give me the Texans.
Stroud boys. I love that. I think
Stroud boys up.
I think that's like my favorite like quarterback fan base making fun of a political name. There's so many. There's two and on. Well, you know what? Well, Stroud Boys is making fun of the Proud Boys.
Yeah, I kind of put that together.
I mean, if Daniel Jones is good, I would be saying Dan Tifa, but he's not.
He's not good. No, not at all.
Not. Yeah, so yeah, give me the Texans for on the money line. Next up, we go to another divisional game. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Tennessee on the road, favored by 2.5. Tennessee coming off of a dominating win against Cincinnati. Sorry, I thought it was Cleveland. Colts coming off of a demoralizing loss against LA in overtime. What do we have for this one? Because this is
I don't have a bet here, but I have the Colts winning this game. I really like the way they finished out that LA game. They were down 23 points. They stuck it out. They fought hard nosed. They get it to overtime. They unfortunately don't win the toss. It is what it is, but I like what Anthony Richardson's doing. His stats have backed him up. His play's been, it's been good. It's been probably the second best we've seen of any of the rookie quarterbacks. I like this Colts offense. I think they get it done. So I'm going to take the Colts over Tennessee.
Okay. Is that one of the three or
no? It's just
okay.
It's prediction.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the numbers don't show it, but the plays that Anthony Richardson is making and like the small windows that he's throwing the ball,
He's got a laser of an arm. A
yeah,
laser.
it's ridiculous. I don't understand why Colt fans were freaking out when they took him because, like, I get that the numbers, the completion percentage, and all that, but the wide receivers for Florida were so bad. If you give him like actual targets, he will thrive in this league. Like he will, the Colts will probably be a staple in the playoffs for years to come. I do like the Colts to cover the spread here, just because it's a divisional game, lot of hype, and I know that the Titans are good against the number, but I feel like this always happens where the Titans, they win big, but then the next game they sort of die down a little bit. So it's not going to be one of my three, but I definitely like the Colts to cover here at home, 2.5. Hopefully, they don't get cucked by a field goal, but we'll see what happens with that one. Yeah, that would be awful. Tim, what if I told you that the worst game on the slate involved the Cincinnati Bengals?
You told me that week 1, I would not believe you, but right now,
Yes.
no, I can see it.
Yes. So Cincinnati at Arizona. Cincinnati's favored by 3. Total set at 44.5.
Yeah, no,
Oof.
since he's not winning this football game, I'm going to take Arizona. I don't know what it is about Joshua. What happened?
By the number or money line?
Money line. I think Arizona. It's not my bet, but
Wow.
I have them winning this football game.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about this Joshua Dobbs team, him led in the backfield, but they have a lot of confidence with him. And I just think, I don't know, they play a gritty brand of football. And from what I've seen from, Cincinnati, they don't look good. They don't look good at all. They move the ball. They move the ball like the Giants. And, that Giants game first half wasn't great. So something about Arizona. I'm taking them to beat Cincy this week.
Yeah, I might take Arizona to cover too. Just solely based on how bad the Bengals have been. There's a lot of juice on Cardinals +3 on FanDuel right now, -118. So I would not be shocked if it might go down to 2.5. I still might take it at 2.5. So
I really think there's a legit chance they win this game.
It's a scary time to be a Bengals fan right now because if Burrow needs to get healthy, and he needs to get healthy quick, because if this is how it's going to be for the Bengals, it's not going to look good. It's not
going to be
a
tough year. It's going to be a tough year.
Next up, Eagles at Rams at SoFi. Eagles road favorites by 4.5. Total set at 49.5. What do we think? This one's definitely an interesting one on the card here.
You know what? I love the way the Rams have been playing. I love the way Matt Stafford's zipping the ball around. Puka Nacua has been unbelievable for them. The offense, they move the ball very, very well. I mean, Kyren Williams in the backfield, he's been getting the majority of touches. He's been a great back for them. The defense looks well, Aaron, and for, surprising, I didn't expect them to be as good as they are. Aaron Donald's definitely stepped up and proven again that he's the best defensive lineman in the league. So I could see them winning this game. Philly's been keeping games close. I could definitely see the Cardinals coming out on top. I mean, the Cardinals. I keep saying the Cardinals. Jesus. The Rams coming out on top here. But I think Philly gets it done. Probably by like a field goal, something very close towards the end of the game. But I won't be shocked if the Rams come out on top here. I think Philly wins, but I will not be shocked if the Rams win this game.
Yeah. I like the Rams to cover here. It's not one of my 3, but it's definitely something I'm leaning towards just because they're at home. The offense is very high potent, and Cooper Kupp's coming back. So that means that Darius Slay is going to be on Cooper Kupp, and who's going to be? I think James Bradbury is hurt, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
So I think so. Who's on Puka Nacua? Exactly.
Yeah. So who's on Puka Nacua? So, and I'm very lucky to have both of them on my fantasy team. But nonetheless, yeah, I like the Rams to cover here at home. I know they're at home, like solely because they're at home, and I know like L.A. or Inglewood, whatever the fuck we want to call it now, where the road team travels well. Like we saw it with Vegas and the Chargers, but I feel like the Rams are a different team. Give me the Rams to cover here. I really like this number a lot. All right. Big 4:00 game. Wait, did I miss one of my... Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Shit, did I miss one? I think this is going to be funny. I think I accidentally did 2 best bets instead of 3.
Rip
And
another
I just
one
thought
right
I
now.
took 3. I mean, I might... Actually, no. I know what I did. Never mind. I know exactly what I did. Okay, next up, Kansas City, Minnesota. Kansas City favored by 3.5. Total set at 52.5. Big number. What do we think here? Actually, no. I'll say it. I'm ringing the bell. I'm ringing the
What
bell.
what do we get? What are we taking?
Give me the Chiefs minus 3.5.
Yeah,
Chiefs minus three and a
yeah.
half is the play. This is the big time play. Solely because the Vikings are 1-7-1 against the spread in their last 9 games as an underdog. I know the Chiefs are 2-5 against the number in their last 7 road games, but I just feel like that this Chiefs offense is going to be too much. I think Pat Mahomes is going to play pretty upset with how he played last week against the Jets. I don't think he's going to take it all out in this Vikings defense. Expect Travis Kelce to put up big numbers too. He was shut down, so yeah, and plus this Vikings defense is absolutely
Is
terrible.
absolutely
So
terrible. So yeah, I know if I was going to take a bet, that would be the bet this game. Yeah, I think this is almost a get right. You know, the Chiefs didn't lose last week, but this is more of a get back on track game for them. Travis Kelsey
yeah,
didn't get the ball a lot. You know, you look at Patrick Mahomes' stat line; it really wasn't that good. I think both of them have a decent day. Expect a touchdown from Kelsey, and they figure it out. They get back on the right track. So I like your bet there.
okay. Next up, here we go, Tim. Jets at Broncos.
Ring it,
Jets.
ring it, ring it, ding.
Whoa, Jesus, you're fucking adamant on this one. Holy fuck.
So I got 2 on this game.
You got 2.
Of
Okay.
course, I have 2.
So the Jets are 2-point underdogs on the road. On the road, total set at 43.5. What do you think?
I have the Jets plus 2
Okay.
at minus 106. I think that's, especially after last week from watching both these teams play, there's nothing telling me the Jets won't get the job done. If they stick to their game plan, Nathaniel Hackett built up a good scheme last week. I think they go with the same thing. A lot of balls over the middle of the field, spread it out a little bit, establish the throw early so you can't just sit run, integrate the run game. And I like how they've been working Zach Wilson. I like they've been letting him throw the ball, and I like Zach Wilson's over on passing yards at 201.5 at minus 114. You look back last week, they threw the ball well. They were moving downfield. He had that spectacular drive, 2 of them in the second half. I know it was a little rough towards the end, but I expect him to build off that week and have something similar. And I think 201.5 is an easy cover for him, minus 114. I think the Jets get the job done. So I'll take the plus 2 at minus 106. I think that's fair.
Ravens, okay. So Ravens by the 4.5. Wilson over 201.5, and Jets plus 2.
Mm-hmm. Those are my 3.
Okay. All right. Let me just put in Jets plus 2. It's not on the spreadsheet, but all right. Check that off. All right. We go to Sunday Night Football. Also, my point of view here. Remember when this game was going to be hyped up because Sean Payton called this like the worst coaching job in NFL history with Nathaniel Hackett and Aaron frickin' went off?
Yeah.
Sorry, I know I had to mention it, but
No, I think the Jets use that as motivation and show up this game.
Okay. I believe you. Definitely, maybe go towards the under here, just because I know the number went up. I think it opened at 40. Now it's at 43. So I know the high elevation, really boosts that number up. But Zach, BYU high elevation. He's gonna be back at high elevation. Maybe Zach was just a good quarterback at BYU, having high elevation. So we'll see. Just saying. It's a serious thought.
No.
Like,
I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking. No, I do understand it. I think that they use the motivation from the chirping they got from, Sean Payton early in the year. I think they've struggled a ton. They haven't looked great. Honestly, haven't even really looked good. Last week wasn't a good game for them by any means. They sneak one out. So I don't see the Jets having a problem with them.
All right, here we go. Game of the week. Sunday Night Football. Cowboys at Niners. I'm ringing that damn bell, baby. I am ringing the bell. This is purely out of spite. I don't care. Give me the Niners minus 3.5 at home. I think this. Oh, I'm so excited to watch this one. This is going to be one of the best. I think this might be one of the best games of the year. I really like the Niners here in this spot. I just think that they have the more talented team. You see this offense. You see how well they adjust, how well they adapt that defense. Brock Purdy 9-0 outright and 7-1-1 against the spread in his career as a starter. I know Dak doesn't. I know the Cowboys. The last 3 they've won outright, they've covered, but I They're at home. I like this. I like it. I know I'm like stuttering here, but I really like the I really like the Niners here. I love it, and it's purely out of spite because I know the Cowboys choke on national television. So give me the Niners minus 3.5.
Yeah, I don't. I know. I agree with you. I like that pick. I like the way the Niners have played. I think they're the best team in the NFL. I see them winning the Super Bowl this year. So it's a build game for them.
All right. Okay. Last but not least, we go to Monday Night Football. This one, shocked that this is a Monday Night Football game, although I kind of do know why. The first time that Devontae Adams, he's not returning to Lambeau. First time Devontae Adams plays the Packers since he got traded a couple of years ago. The Raiders are 1 point underdog, 1 point favorites on Monday Night Football. Total set at 44.5. This one's interesting.
I'm riding the low show. I think Green Bay wins this game.
Yeah, I agree. I think Green Bay wins this game. I just, although, you know what? I might change my mind. Right now, I'm leaning towards Vegas because their only wins are against the Bears, the Falcons, and the Saints. They play the Lions, and if it all depends on if Jimmy Garoppolo plays. I think if Garoppolo plays, he played well against the Packers back when Aaron Rodgers was at quarterback. I think Devontae Adams is going to be playing for something. This is the team that traded him, that didn't give him the money. So we'll see. I'm up in the air with this one, but right now I'm leaning Raiders, but that could definitely change.
I mean, I could see it going both ways, but I'm just going to lean Packers. I like Jordan Love. I like what they're doing there. I like the youth in their offense. They got some young receivers that are playing well. Their backfield's nice. I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Yeah. Injury report for the Giants. Just kidding. Jesus Christ. Did not practice. Shea Lemieux, groin. John Michael Schmitz, shoulder. Andrew Thomas, hamstring, when we were told he was going to be out for like a week. So that's nice. Limited. Saquon, Daniel Bellinger, Gary Brightwell, Micah McFadden, Evan Neal. Interesting. Azeez Ojulari, of course, and Wan'Dale Robinson with the knee. They're probably just doing that as a precaution. So, yeah. Although, Dable said that Azeez was maintenance. So, great. Maintenance day for the Giants. Woo! Love it. Awesome.
Take it.
All right. Moving on. So to recap, best bets, we already said Tim's. Ravens, Jets, and Zach Wilson over. And then I have Texans on the money line. And then Chiefs minus 3.5 and the Niners minus 3.5. So, yeah. Gotta love it. Moving on to some college football. Pretty good slate of college football this week. So I know on our Instagram and Twitter we just do our picks just straight up, like who's gonna win. I think we do something different here. I think we just go by. I want to go by spreads, if that's all right with you, Tim. We could do money line if you want. Okay.
Spreads are fun.
All right, let's get it started. Oklahoma and Texas, Red River Showdown. This is like one of my favorite college football rivalry games. I know that last year's was a bit of a bust. Texas taking them down 46-0. Oklahoma didn't have Dylan Gabriel. He was hurt. Right now, Texas is favored by 6.5. Total is at 60 points. Oklahoma has the best record against the number this year. But I will say right now, I
Texas
don't think
covers.
Oklahoma covers.
Nope,
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
That minus 5.5 is easy. This Texas offense is unbelievable. I think they get the job done.
Yeah. And plus that defense too. The defense is ridiculous. Oklahoma's 3-8 against a number in the last 11. Yeah, I'm rolling with. I'm taking this 6.5 with Texas here. All right, next up, I believe we go SEC. Yes, we do. LSU 6-point favorites at Missouri. LSU coming off of a loss against Ole Miss. Total set at 64.5. What do we think? What do we think here?
LSU looks terrible. I haven't watched a lot of Missouri football. But to be honest with you, there's nothing telling me that LSU is going to win a football game. They look really bad. I'm very. I don't know. Missouri's unbeaten.
I'm taking Missouri by the number. 3-0 against the spread is a home underdog. LSU was a road favorite under Brian Kelly. Is 1-4 against the number. I think this is going to be. I think we're going to be memeing Brian Kelly after this. Give me Missouri to cover. I would
agree.
I would take money line, but I feel like that's just too. The number's
I'll
just
take the
too
4.
big for
The
me to
4 is
take money
fine.
line.
I like the
Oh,
4
it's at
points.
4 now.
-4 LSU.
Is it at 4? All right, if it dropped, then I'll definitely take money line. What the hell? Oh yeah,
I'm
4
getting
and a
it
half.
on this
Oh
one.
yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Makes sense. Yeah. Missouri plus 4.5. Next one. Washington State at UCLA. It's a disgrace that this is going to be on the Pac-12 network. UCLA laying 3.5 at home. Like, that definitely tells me something. Total set at 60.5. I don't know, man. I don't know about this one.
I'm going to take UCLA to cover.
Okay. I might
I,
go over. I
I
don't
like
know.
Dante Moore. I don't know. I know Washington State is 4-0, but this UCLA team on paper is better. And
On
Pac-12
paper,
wise,
no, you have not seen Cam Ward play.
I guess I haven't, but
Yeah, you have not seen Cam Ward play football.
UCLA
I'm
-3. I don't know. UCLA money line. That's where I'm going. I think UCLA wins.
I'll go Washington State. Screw it.
Flip
I'll go
the
Washington
script.
State. All right. Alabama A&M.
Give me
Bama
A&M.
on the road.
Give me
Yeah, I
A&M.
was gonna say, as much as I hate Jimbo, give me A&M.
I want to see Bama crumble.
Obviously, yes. Who doesn't? Next up, Kentucky and Georgia.
Nah, I don't.
This one's interesting.
Georgia might
This
cover
one's
the
interesting.
14.5 spread.
No, I don't think so.
I'm taking it then. Give me
you know-
Georgia to cover the 14.5 spread. I'm taking Georgia to cover. This is Georgia is so good at football. I don't even think Kentucky really compares to them remotely. I think
Kentucky I'll take the over.
give me Georgia -14.5.
I'll take the 40. I'll go over 47.5. I think that's yeah, I feel like that's a safe one. Jesus Christ. Last one. We got Notre Dame at Louisville. This is I believe Notre Dame's favored by 7.5. No, 6 and a hook. Notre Dame really well on the road against the number. I feel like Louisville. I know Louisville's 5-0, but they haven't really faced that much competition. You know, NC State not that good. You know, they got into a tight one at the beginning of the year against Georgia Tech. Boston College not that good either. Indiana is one of the worst teams in the Big 12. They were favored by 10. They only won by a touchdown. Give me Notre Dame to cover here. I like this number a lot.
Yeah, I agree. The quarterback play in Notre Dame they're just a better team. There's a reason they're 10 and Louisville's 25. But I do think it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think this is going to be a big blowout as some people think it's going to.
Yeah,
I like
I agree,
I like 6.5.
but it's like, yeah, it's at 6.5.
Yeah, I'll take Notre Dame to cover, but I honestly got to see this being like 2 field goal game, like 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something just under.
Yeah, that's it for college football. Yeah, so we're
Got to break down these wild card series, Stan. What'd you go?
I believe I went. If I can pull it up. Yes, I went. I did not. I went 2 for 4.
So did I. So we both went the same.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Twins, because the people in Minnesota deserve this. Because I remember years ago when we were talking about how when the Timberwolves won the play-in and they were all celebrating like they just won the championship, and people didn't realize how terrible Minnesota sports have been.
Yeah, the Wild are always disappointing in the NHL playoffs.
Yes. The
Twins never win.
Now at the time, and then the Vikings just haven't done shit. Like, I not haven't done shit, but, you know, they just couldn't, they can't win the big one. Minnesota fans finally have something to celebrate. And it would have went the same way with Toronto, too, where, like, if whoever won that series, fans were going to feel something that they hadn't felt in years. And the I mean, I'll say it, the Astros are beatable. They're beatable. I'm not saying they're going to beat them, but they are definitely beatable.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. That's why I have Texas beating them. I just think, listen, there was some blunders in that game. Vlad Guerrero getting picked off in the 7th, things like that just can't happen with runners in scoring position, especially from a guy like that.
Yeah.
You lose game 1, that's huge. You need to win game 2. That, you know, again, stuff like that, just you can't. Mental mistakes can't happen.
What is what is Schneider doing pulling Jose Barrios like that?
Yeah, it didn't
What
make
the
any sense to
fuck?
me either. Even the players in the clubhouse weren't happy. There's a lot of things that went wrong for this Blue Jays team internally, but you got to give the Twins credit. They hit the ball well. You know, they're a scrappy team. They're just a scrappy team, and there's a reason they were a 3 seed. Now they go into Houston and see if they could do anything there. I don't expect them to. I don't really expect them to give Houston too many problems, but I can see them taking a game. I you know,
Yeah, I can see it too. Maybe just like, backs against the wall down 2-0, win a game at home.
and then get smoked. Yeah, I could see it happening.
Yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. This next series was the most shocking one, in my honest opinion. The Rangers taking down the Rays. Am I shocked that Texas won the series? No. Am I shocked that they beat them like that? Absolutely, I am. Because how the hell? I thought the defense for the Rays was just terrible.
No, they crumbled, and
Yeah.
and I had Texas moving on, where they went 7-1 last night. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a team that can hit the fucking ball. I said it going into. They remind me a lot of the Phillies last year and the Phillies this year. Same thing with the Phillies this year, but they look good. They look like they're ready to go. They're swinging. I think they take care of the Orioles in, like, again, 4 games. I don't think this one goes too far.
Okay.
I
Just
love
know that
Texas right now.
Baltimore's going to be rocking, though. They haven't had postseason
Oh,
baseball
I'm
in
not saying they're
years.
not going to be rocking, but I something about this Texas Rangers team is speaking to me right now. And from what I just saw, I don't see anyone stopping them
Okay.
in this American League. So I'm happy
Okay.
with what happened there.
We go to the National League, and it's a red October.
Holy! And now, if you watched that game last night, Jesus,
Dude.
the grand slam they hit. I mean, they had runners on.
Grand Slam. I saw that live. I was
Oh,
like, here it comes.
it
Here it
Philly
comes.
Philly is a hard place to play baseball. It is a really hard place to win games as an opposition team. They are loud. They are active early. That was prominent from the first inning, which what I saw last night. I mean, this Phillies team can hit. Everyone's on board. Trey Turner had a good game. They look legit. And are they going to give the Braves some problems? Yeah, I think they do. I think they make this a tough series. I think Miami wasn't ready for the challenge. That was shown early. They had a rookie guy go last night. Garrett, he
Yeah.
pitched okay, but first situation, it's very tough to pitch in Philly as your first playoff game. That place is rocking. But this is a veteran team. They go into Atlanta against, the heaviest favorite I think we've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And maybe they do some damage.
Something tells me that the Phillies are going to take game 1. I have no idea. Something just
I
tells
know
me
it's
that
something
they're
in
going
my
to take
mind
game
too. I
1.
think they do take game 1. I think they're riding this high and they're going to show out. They played great, and we'll see what happens. But I really like what I'm seeing from the Phillies right now.
Yeah. Last but not least, I'm not
Shocking to me.
surprised by this.
I am.
I'm not surprised. I know I took the Brewers, but I'm not surprised by this in the slightest. I only took the Brewers because I know that the offense for the Brewers was like a little bit but Wilson not Wilson Contreras. William Contreras was on a big time high. I think he hit safely in like 16 straight games, something like that. Like he was ending the season on a really good note. And just the starter for game 1 for Arizona didn't move me. I kind of questioned the decision why they didn't go with Gallen for game 1. Boy, was I wrong. Because this Diamondbacks team is electric. They might be America's team. Seriously. And now they're playing a divisional opponent. And I know that people, including myself, I was not big on the Dodgers this year. I don't know why. I just wasn't as big on the Dodgers as I was in years past. Diamondbacks might make this a series. Do I think that they win the series? No. But I think they make it a battle.
I think they make the games competitive. And I think what for them really is they got to continue to just hit the ball, get on base. Don't try and do anything crazy. They have, guys that can move. They're fast. Corbin Carroll had an excellent game. He's really hot for them right now. I like what I saw from Arizona. I didn't expect them to win. Zach Gallen started off slow. They let up 2 runs in the first inning. I thought, this is the time the Brewers come back.
Thanks for fucking the ladder over, Zach.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, they proved me wrong. They showed out, and I think they make these Dodgers games interesting. Do I think they win? I don't know if they win. Maybe not even win one, but I think they make them close. They've seen them a lot this year. They've had some good games against them. I think every game's going to be tight to the end. So I'm excited for this series. It's probably, for me, other than the Baltimore series, probably the second most exciting series to watch. So I'll see what happens. See if Arizona can put up a fight, but good win for them. They needed that. It's the first time in a while.
Also, just from a viewership standpoint. Tim, you have HBO Max.
Yeah, I have HBO and HBO Max. Yeah.
So the what was I gonna say? So the National League playoffs are on TBS. So all the game ones are on Saturday. So there's college football, all that, and then some of the games are on. Although I do think the National League takes off on Sunday and play Monday, but since like I don't know, TNT's like a part of like some like sponsorship with or TBS is part of like some like deal with HBO Max where current subscribers get to watch live sports on HBO Max. So
Really? So you can watch the game on
yes,
HBO Max?
yes. I think
Oh,
it's only I think there's like stopping it around like March Madness and then you have to pay extra for it. But for like MLB playoffs, like the first half of the season for NBA on TNT, you could watch it on HBO Max. So that's perfect. So I'll have like college football on the TV, MLB on my computer, and then for
lovely,
Sunday or if
lovely. I didn't
yeah,
even know that.
yep, exactly. I think it stops around NBA All Star break, something like that. It's something one of the basketball ones, either March Madness or NBA All Star break. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. I did not know that, so
Saquon just spoke about Evan Neal.
I'm sure it wasn't anything good.
He said the advice he was asked about Evan Neal's comments and said the advice I would give to him and any other teammate is never pick a battle with the fans. You're never going to win that one. They've been here before us and they're going to be here after us. That's just the truth.
You're not wrong.
He's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's completely right. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Is that once you lose your fan base and your dedication from the loyal support, and they're not backing you anymore, it's just going to make the game harder.
Did you see Don LaGreca's rant on him?
I'm sure. Just send it to me after. I'm sure it was hilarious.
Oh, he called him a fat ass.
Don LaGreca did?
Yes. I'll send you. Oh my god, I have never laughed so hard in my life. I like Don, but he's not a fucking football player.
I mean, I like him too, but it's weird calling him a fat ass. I just you peep Don LaGreca.
No,
he's got rolls on his face. I mean, Jesus.
Oh, Don.
Come on, that man rants about everyone. Michael K made my career.
That was my favorite one. It was like,
that is the best one.
15 years.
I had 3 kids without Michael K. I married wife without Michael K. So crazy. He's just a nut job.
Just gonna listen to all the Don LaGreca rants. Although speaking of radio rants, my favorite one is when Mike Francesa started ranting about how James Franklin went up like 55-0 against Rutgers in like the final seconds of the game, had like too many men on the field for a field goal, and then too many men on the field for Rutgers. No, Penn State was on defense. Rutgers was getting ready to kick a field goal and not get shut out. James Franklin called the timeout to ice the kicker, and Mike Francesa fucking lost it.
Oh, jeez.
He ranted for about like 13 minutes.
He always rants.
Like, what? Oh God, I love the Pope. Love the Pope. All right. Moving on to what I saw.
I didn't play. It was a day. I didn't play golf yesterday.
He didn't play. It's been a day.
It's been a day. I didn't play.
It's been a day. All right. What did you see though, Tim?
What did I see? I saw Jamie Drysdale got a re-up contract in Anaheim. 3 years, 2.3 AAV.
Nice.
I think it's a good deal for him. It's a good bridge deal. They're saving some cap to maybe get a big all-star or something in the next few years. So, good deal for Anaheim. That's what I saw. I also saw Trevor Zegras having to practice without a stick because their coach was trying to preach defense to like all their rookies. He threw a stick in the corner and said, "You're doing defensive drills without one."
Wow.
So
that's something.
Anaheim's doing what they got to do.
Do you agree with that, or is it just like?
I think for him, listen, he's a one-dimensional player right now. He's got to work on his defensive game. He's otherworldly with the puck. He doesn't need to practice his stick handling any more than he already has. I think it's right now is just focus on the two-way game and get him structured defensively, and he'll be better off.
Okay, I have two what I saw. The first one, today's Travis Kelce's birthday. He turns 34. which is the same age as Gronk.
Really?
Yes. That's fucking insane.
Same age as Gronk?
He's the same age as Gronk.
That is crazy. You know what also is crazy? If Gronk, I think, legitimately wanted to play football still, he could be top 5, maybe top 3 tight end in the NFL.
Yes.
He really wanted to play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And my next what I saw, I believe it is already released. No, it comes out tomorrow. Shell. We got to run it back.
I
think
know.
we
I
could-
gotta get it. I gotta download it tomorrow.
I think. Can they? I know they have crossplay, but it's like they fixed it though, right? Where it's like
You can play. I can play with you now.
But are we sure about that? Because I'm next gen. You're still on PS4.
I'll look into it, but I'm pretty sure you can. But I also saw some. What was I just gonna say?
Go ahead.
I'm losing my train of thought. No, I'm losing my train of thought now. I had something to say. Oh, Drake dropped a snippet of his new song. He's dropping an album soon. If anyone heard it, it's pretty good. So, that's what I saw.
According to the reveal trailer, crossplay and NHL 24 will be available for all platforms, including both current gen consoles.
There you go.
Oh, so is that? But
yeah, it's.
But
what? We'll figure it out. I'll
gen?
figure it out eventually. I'll buy the game and I'll tell you. So I'm getting it anyway.
Fair enough. We got to get the squad back. Raw potatoes.
100%.
Oh,
I don't have a top 5 list, so if you have a fun fact of the day,
I will pull up a fun fact of the day. If I can find. Let's see. Action-packed episode, as always. Fun fact of the day. How many feet is it from Earth to outer space?
It's only like 3 miles, isn't it? So it's 1,500 something? No, it's 1,800 something. That's my guess.
This doesn't give an
18,000, I mean, not 1,800, sorry, 18,000 feet. 1,800 is ridiculous. It's not even a mile. What am I saying?
I don't know. It didn't give an answer for feet. It was weird.
Hold on.
Anyway, I'll do a new one. This is a new one. I mean, if you want to figure that out yourself.
Well, yeah, tell me the new one, and I'll figure out the next one.
All right. Who was the last person to sign
wrong. It's Jesus Christ. It's 330,000 feet. What the hell was I thinking?
Figured. Who was the last person to sign the Declaration of Independence?
John Hancock was it Thomas Jefferson?
No, Thomas McKean. He was
really?
He was a delegate to the Continental Congress and served as a delegate to the Congress of the Confederation from 1781 to 1783.
The more you know. I did not know that.
The more you know. The more you know. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Very good episode. We got the picks in. Perfect.
As always.
Hopefully you could see us
we'll figure it out eventually.
Episode.
We will figure it out eventually. Yes. I promise you.
We cannot reiterate that enough. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Be sure to subscribe to this video, like this video, comment. Did I say subscribe to this video?
Subscribe to the channel is what you're saying.
Yeah, subscribe to our channel. Like this video, leave a comment. Helps us out tremendously. Be sure to follow us and rate us on Spotify.
5 stars.
5 stars only. And we will see you guys on Tuesday. Hockey preview with Jake and Matt.
Can't wait.
Very excited. Can't wait to talk hockey. Very excited. All right. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.